Hi. It's dark now. And I came back to talk a little bit. I have story time. I do have story time today if anybody's interested. I was remembering, you guys. I made a chicken fried rice for dinner. And I wanted to talk about who taught me how to make this chicken fried rice. Except it was a beef fried rice, really. When I was like 20, I lived in Mexico. I did. I lived in the state of Nayarit. And maybe 21. I had 2 babies. Okay. And my husband at the time was a businessman. He would just like buy and resell whatever. And this one time, he had connections to a Korean businessman that just had miscellaneous, brand new stuff, household stuff to sell, to resell, I guess. So anyway, he's doing business with this Korean guy in Mexico, and the Korean guy is from Korea, but speaks Spanish too, so he doesn't speak just Korean, he speaks Spanish. So anyway, my husband brings him home for lunch. And without telling me, and he brings his wife and his kid, and I've got 2 little kids, and I've got my husband, and I don't have enough food for all of us. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm really embarrassed, and I tell her, I don't know if I have enough food for everybody. And she's Korean, and she doesn't speak Spanish. The husband speaks Spanish, but she doesn't speak Spanish. And she understands kind of what I'm saying, and she takes my hand and goes to the kitchen with me, and she says, show me what you got, how much food you got. So we find the rice. We make some rice, some steamed rice. And I have just like a little piece of steak from the night before. Just a little piece, maybe enough for one person, okay? And she looks through my veggies and grabs all kinds of vegetables. And I have eggs. Everybody always has eggs, right? She gets out the eggs, and after the rice is steamed, she chops up this little piece of steak, and she sautés it with the veggies, and she's telling me how and what to do and how to season it. And then she starts adding the rice, you guys. And when she was just sauteing the steak, I was like, how is she gonna make that be enough for all of us? There was 4 adults and like 4 kids. Hi. So she sautés the meat and then adds a bunch of eggs. I must have maybe 2, 3, 4 eggs. I don't know how many eggs. And she sautés it in with the meat, and then she brings the rice in. She adds soy sauce, and she starts mixing it all up, frying it up for us. And when she was done, she had a huge meal to feed an army of people. And my lack mentality at that time said, I don't have enough to feed everyone. I just have 1 steak. That's lack mentality, you guys. She saw that 1 steak, and she saw I had all these veggies and everything else. And she's like, I can make a huge meal out of this. So I learned that from her. I did. And I got to practice those skills when I came back to the United States and was poor as dirt. Yeah, I learned how to make meals out of food that was thrown away, you guys, from the grocery stores. I was pregnant with my 2nd baby, okay? It's sad to think that I had 9 siblings and that those 9 siblings reduced me to this, okay? I was 8 months pregnant, you guys, going through dumpsters, with my husband at the time because he had an illegal status. He couldn't have a job, okay? And I was too pregnant to have a job. So we had to go dumpster diving, yeah. And originally the dumpster diving was to collect cardboard boxes because we could actually take those to the recycling and get some cash for it. And then we could buy formula for the baby or milk or whatever. But during those dumpster diving, you guys, I would find food that was edible. That was still edible. That the grocery stores by law are not allowed to sell anymore. And back then, it wasn't as organized as it is now with all the food pantries where they donate their stuff. This was like in the 80s, you guys. Back then, grocery stores just threw this stuff away, okay? And during that time, I learned how to make meals from a dumpster, from dumpster diving. And it worked. It did. And I still have those skills to today. I wasn't going to cook dinner today. And at last minute, I decided to cook dinner, but I thought, what do I have? I only had 2 drumsticks, you guys. 2 chicken drumsticks, 4 eggs, and rice. And guess what I made? A delicious chicken fried rice with 2 drumsticks. Yeah. I bet you it'll be there all week. Enough to eat all week, yeah. But anyway, I just want to encourage people that are on low budgets, you guys. There's no shame. And in reality, we don't need that much. We don't, you guys. Get a big sack of rice and beans. I'm telling you, it goes such a long way. We can use beans in salads or just plain. I love my refried beans. I love rice. It's just, when I used to make reels of my gourmet cooking dishes. They're beautiful musical reels, okay? And I used to shop at the grocery store, spend a lot of money to produce those reels, okay? I had to spend money on the food I was going to cook, right? And I don't do that no more. So I don't shop as much. I don't have to buy all that food no more. So the less food that I buy, the less I want to buy. And the happier I am with just staples. And I remember how much money I was spending. They trick us, you guys, into thinking we need 3 meals a day and all these huge varieties of foods. You know, you need the purple potatoes and the yellow potatoes and the pink potatoes and all. See how crazy it's gotten? It has. Go back to basics. And if you're forced right now, financially, to live off of basics, have no shame. It's probably the healthiest way to go. It is. Anyway, that's my story time. The Korean lady taught me how to make beef fried rice. It was delicious. I never forgot. See how we can learn from everybody, you guys. We can. Everybody should teach whatever they know. When I was making my reels, I was teaching gardening skills, how to grow a plant from a seed. I was teaching how to pickle your veggies, how to compost. I was even composting in a rental house, you guys. You could do anything you want. You create your own reality, okay? If I wanted to compost here in the apartment, I could do it too. But I don't. I have better things to do now. What I'm saying is we create our own reality. We do. So I was making these reels, and I've always taught people Like, whatever new skills I learn, I just want to share. I want to share with everybody. Look, I learned this shortcut, you guys. I learned this shortcut. You don't have to struggle like I did. I'll teach you how to do it easier and with less pain. That's why I'm here, to teach you guys shortcuts on life. Because I have a lot of wisdom, remember? A lot. For those who want it. Because I refuse to throw my pearls to the swine. I refuse. I do. I refuse. Those who want the knowledge, I've got some knowledge, you guys. I do. For free. For free. So far. I don't charge. No. Anyway. I was thinking earlier, when I came on, I was refreshing my lipstick. I had another story. When I was a teenager, I lived with my brother and sister-in-law for a very short period. That's the couple that shipped me off to Mexico when I was 16. Yeah, it ruined my life. Anyway, she was teaching me how to be a girl. Turns out she wasn't even a girl. But anyway, I was 15, so she was teaching me how to be a girl. And I would hang out with her like if I was above age, let's say. Because I'd end up like at the local dance club or whatever it was back then. A music club. My brother was in a band, actually. He played the guitar. So he was always gone on the weekends. He always had a gig. So she and I were left alone. And she would take me to the other dance club where my brother wasn't playing the guitar. So she could dance with other dudes. Yeah, my family. Cute, huh? So I'm 15 and they let me in. Nobody's carding anybody. Nobody cares how old you are. And I did look older, always. I've always been an old soul, always. So I'm sitting at the bar. We sit at the bar. And she orders me, oh my gosh. What did she order me? Whatever it was, it got me really buzzed. She was like a heavy drinker. Anyway. I'm sitting at the bar and there's music playing and some guy. Oh, it's a Mexican music bar, dance club, whatever. So it's Spanish music. And to me, it's chunti to me. I don't know if you're Mexican, but chunti means pretty much redneck? Redneck. It was redneck music to me. Mexican redneck. But anyway, I was happy I just got to go drink. Yeah. You know, block out those traumas, Elsa. Yeah. So my sister-in-law and I are sitting at the bar and this guy, a chunti guy, asked me out to dance. And I was like offended. I was like, no, you and I are nothing alike. I've never been redneck, never. And I just said, no thank you. I was as polite as possible. I smiled and I wasn't there to dance anyway. I was 15. I was there to drink. Like the other drugs, yeah. And this dude gets mad at me. He goes back to his table and downs his drink, whatever he was drinking, beer, whatever, and decides he's going to come back and make me pay for rejecting him. Yeah. So you know what he said? He came up really close to me because the music's loud, so he had to come up close. And he said, I just wanted you to know that you have duck lips. He said, yeah, you have duck lips. That was his insult. And guess what? Duck lips are in now. Ha, lucky me. Every, people pay for this. Yeah, people pay for the duck lips. I had to tell that story. I thought that was funny. My teenage years, you guys. Very neglected my whole life. Very neglected. So anyway, I have duck lips, but I make a great chicken fried rice. I do. Nah. Good night, you guys. Good night. Happy Sunday. Go to bed early. Yeah. Go to bed early. Yeah.